Hello, welcome back. My name is Vasco the Gamer, and today I'm basically going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do this year. And that is, well, to pursue one of the longest streams I've ever had. And that is, well, I'm going to try and write some reviews for some of the local papers. What reviews? Gaming reviews, of course, because I'm a gamer and that's some. Basically, writing reviews is something I want to do my entire life, and so why not just try and see if anyone is interested? And that's something I want to do on the channel as well. Not writing them, but of course having some reviews of not just the big game titles, but mostly of the indie titles that I've played so far, because I think a lot of the games I've played on this channel is indie games. I'm not trying to focus directly on them, but then again, I find indie games very interesting and they're not as overwhelming as their counterparts, the AAA games, most often than not. And at the same time, they are usually quite cheap, so everyone has a fair chance at buying more of them than big game titles. And also, they're not that hard to get a grip on. They're not that hard to get into, which is very good for a game. And so that's something I'm going to see if I can pull off this year. But writing a game review and making a video on it are two entirely separate things because I want to make them right. No pun intended, for once in my bloody life. But then again, writing the game reviews is something I wanted to do because, one, I get to play games for a living basically because how else are you going to write a review if you don't play games? Fair question. You can't, so just go ahead, play all the games you can. And also I have a lot of writer's experience with, well, working both as a reporter, for instance, and also I have written in some magazines, and that is years back, but I have the silly experience, so that will be amazing. And I'll see how much I can do this year, because 2 days from now, on Tuesday, my 40-week course will begin, and I don't want that to be the thing that I will only remember this year by, because having just one thing to remember a year by, at least when it comes to a course, and that's all you have to show for an entire year, that's a bit lackluster, at least in my head, because I want to do more. I want to do a lot more. Right now I have 5 side projects in my head that I want to get done. And this is one of the longest streams I've had, and so why not? Why not? Very good thing when it comes to a lot of my ideas, and also why is a very good question of why I do a lot of things, because I have no idea why sometimes. But if I'm going to make a review on this channel, I want it to be good, so that's why I'm probably going to postpone that until I get my editing skills up to an entirely different level or get an editor, because I'm not that good at it, as you know by now. I can do the, well, basics stuff basically. But more than that, no, because when it comes to colors, I'm colorblind, as you know, so a lot of editing that revolves around colors is not my game at all. And so I'm going to see if I can learn a lot of other things. So by the end of this year, I hope you'll see a massive improvement in that part, and perhaps a few reviews if I can get everything up and running. And yet good enough. Gets good, as the youth say these days. And now, as someone in the 20s, I have ruined that completely for them, and that is perfect. Anyway, working with game reviews would be just fantastic for me, because one, I have a lot of games I can review right off the bat, because I have played a lot of games the past year already. And also I can shine light to, well, the games that form me a lot, and if I have the opportunity, I will not just go in depth of the new brand titles, I will also shine light and, well, I have a lot of old games I really want to write about because a lot of titles that I discovered in my teenage years never were featured in the papers, and so, or online as far as I could tell back then, and a few rare occasion one game popped up in the feed of a local paper, and it was like just like, you can write that better, you can write it more funny, you can write it way sharper, you focus on the entire wrong aspect of this because you're not in the target audience. And so for me, being formed by games and being born into, well, a game loving generation, for starters, I have an entirely different view than those who are 20 plus years older than me, and so grew up with, well, they grew into the game, not up with them. And at the same time, we can also say that, okay, someone who grew up with Pong may have Pong and Contra, they have an entire different genre and, well, generation of games that they would focus on. That's true. Then again, gaming as a genre, as an entire genre, is so fast evolving right now that you need a lot of people just to cover a few basic things of it. And so that's what I want to try out. I want to go not just sharp and define with a genre. I want to go broad. I want to immerse myself with the games again. Don't focus way too much on a game mechanic unless that is really vital to a game. Like for instance, if let's say in Cuphead that you had a bug where you couldn't aim properly, then that would be problematic to say the very least. But focusing on just one part of the game, where it's not a vital thing but rather a feature, is not that wise. Anyway, that is something I want to pursue this year. And I believe that a lot of people out there really want to do reviews as well, so go ahead. If you think you're up for it, go for it. If you're not, if you don't think you're up for it, go for it anyway. Because, what you would say? No? Okay, fine, you tried. And, well, that's my plan for this entire year. My motto, okay, why not? Going to just see how far I get. If I don't get anywhere, okay, fine, I'll do, or I have at least done that 42-week course, and I'm done with it. And we'll see next year how things are going. Sorry, my eyes are a bit twitching because I have some garlic there, which is not a good place to have garlic. You're supposed to have that in your stomach or in the garbage, depending on your stand on garlic. Anyway, that was just mostly an update from my end, and so where are we heading next? Probably trying to finish Cuphead because I tried that all day long on King Dice. I spent 8 hours today trying to beat that son of a bitch, and I still am not a step closer. That's the reason why it's no video in Cuphead, because I want it to be progress! And 8 hours in to one boss fight. That is a bit annoying. Using 8 hours of one boss is just an example of either how shit I am at the game or how incredibly hard it is, or a combination of those two. Probably somewhere in the middle. Or more leaning towards the fact that I'm probably not that good at the game. I'm shit at the game. And so, I have 8 hours of footage just me raging more and more and more, which I'm going to include in the final, but still, I want to beat that SOB now. And that's where I stand currently. I'm going back tomorrow, and I'm going to give it my all and see how far I'll, well, come with him. Because he is hard, but the boss fight with king dies, as I'm going to further explain into that video when you actually see the fight itself. But, well, the game is almost 2 years old at this point, and so it's fine to explain it. The problem with that boss fight is that it's constructed of a lot of mini boss fights. It's basically a minimum of 3 mini bosses, and then you face him. And it's very easy to fail on those. I fail 70% of my attempts on those alone. I rarely get to face him. And that's not good if you have to practice his maneuvers and his attacks, like you have to do in Cuphead. So, that part of the fight's a bit shit, but we'll get more into it tomorrow, hopefully when I've beaten that bloody idiot. And that's where I stand on Cuphead right now. I'm getting crushed again and again and again. If you think that every single fight or attempt against King Dice is about 2 minutes, and I spent 8 hours today getting nowhere. Yeah. That's about 30 fights, or 30 attempts per hour. That's a lot of attempts, around 240. If my math's correct, I don't know. I'm excruciating tired right now, so anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to see if I can make some reviews this year, and if they fail, okay, I tried at the very least. And I hope you have a great time as well. And if you have any dreams or goals of this year, please share them in the comments. And I hope to see you all real soon. My name is Oscar the Gamer, and well, this is my goal. Until next time, bye bye!